Hey, everybody. Super excited to have my friend David here from Boston. Wait till he talks. You'll never guess that he's from Boston. Teasing. But I love David, and David is the listing king. So he's here to tell us all about how he gets listings, and he's got a really good story to share.
Thank you so much for having us on today, Jennifer. Again, a repeat guest on your show.
Yay! And I'm thankful for that.
And yeah, we were just talking offline, how we were just in New York City not too long ago to celebrate our friend Jessica's birthday. So,
Yes, little
uh,
baby Jessica, 40.
yeah, so Jessica, if you're out there or if you see the recording, had to
Yes.
give you another shout out because her actual birthday was just uh, recently. It was last week, I believe. So, but yes, so talking about winning listings. So, how would you like me to start, Jennifer? Just
Do you want me to go ahead and share the screen? And look, there's Sia from New York.
oh
Sia, you are a great hostess in New York. It was
oh. So I don't want to share the screen yet.
okay.
But okay. So the topic of the call today is how to win a listing, and there's so many different details that go into winning a listing. And to be specific, what I'm going to share today is when you're competing for a listing, right? Not if it's a strong referral or
Right.
little things you can do, and that's what it is. It's a handful of little things that you can do, and it's a combination of all of those little things that will help increase your conversion rate
That's
when
right.
you're competing against two or more other top agents in your market area.
I agree. And it is all about the details. And those little details that you were just talking about add up to a large impact when you're talking to that seller.
Yeah, and that's really what it is. And the more experience that you have on listing appointments, you start to analyze and ask for feedback. And obviously, it's a constant learning process. If you don't get a listing, it's always a good idea to ask why, ask for feedback, and remain objective with whatever feedback you receive, and make sure that that doesn't happen again, whether it be showing up a few minutes late, whether it be seeming like you're too busy looking at your phone when you're in front of somebody. Little things like that really, really matter with people when they're spending your time with them, or their time with
And that's a good point. I always get there 15 minutes early, and I never park in the driveway. I always park on the side because I was always taught that like friends park in the driveway. So I park on the side, I get there 15 minutes early, and I just sit in the car and I'm just doing work, And usually they'll come out there and knock on the window, and I'll say, "Oh, just give me another minute. I'm trying to best prepare for you." And I've already prepared for them, but it makes them think, "Oh my God, she's there early, she's preparing, she's getting organized." And I think like that's another just a little like you were talking about the little things. Yeah.
yes.
And then I always say, I come in and I immediately start taking off my shoes. And they usually say, don't worry about it. But I also think that's like respectful.
That's another good tip too. It's things like that. And it's also being fully present in the moment, right when you open the door, the eye contact, the positive energy. Like Jennifer said, offer to take off your shoes or just start to take them off without even being asked. So those are all important things. Some other little tips. I'm going to get to kind of the main story of the orchid, which if you saw the template that Jennifer put together, the story of the orchid is something that I'm leading to, but it's a lot of other little things too that you can have that can help differentiate you. What are your points of differentiation, right? So another tip that I have is be very, very organized with your paperwork. So when I print out comps, I highlight the key data facts. It only takes 2 minutes to go through and highlight the average sale price, the average days on market. If there's, one or two comps in particular that caught your eye that you want to focus on when talking about pricing with the client, highlight those key metrics. If there's a
Do
couple,
you put it into a spreadsheet? Because I do all that, but then I put it on a spreadsheet. So that's spreadsheets really for me, but they love it.
spreadsheets is also a great idea, and that's the thing. It's like we all do it slightly different, and there's no I think just taking the extra time to highlight things, whether it's on a spread, for me personally, to highlight, right? Especially if you're dealing with people that are engineers or teachers, or knowing that, who you're working with, and little details that will stand out in their mind. But that's what worked really well for me, with highlighting things. And then if there's a certain data point, like if it's the only 3-bed, 1.5 bath house that is sold over a certain price point, and it's like the key comp that you want to leverage with this potential listing, actually notating that. So if you print something out like a spreadsheet or your comps, having that in like blue pen and highlighted, that just shows that you took the extra time, and that there's specific information that you came prepared with. You didn't just print out the sheets off the printer, throw them in a folder, and show up. Now, the other thing, I'm a little OCD with my paperwork. So I have like a certain order in which I print out the comps. What's pending, what has sold is a different staple for the pending, a different staple for the particular comps that I want to show, the locations on the map. And then I have everything paper clipped. And then I have it in manila folder, and I have my business card right with the paper clip. So when I pull out the manila folder and I pull out my paperwork, I take off the paper clip, I place my business card on the table, and then I'll go in order. I'll say to the seller, I want to show you from scratch how I prepared for this appointment today, because I value your time so much. I'm tremendously grateful to be here. Just saying something like that, acknowledging that you spent a significant amount of time preparing for that appointment.
Yeah.
It's a very important point, but you can only say it if it's true.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. And I email, like, I've got what I call the seller's homework. Homeowner's homework is the title of it. And I'll email them that with our residential property disclosure, because that's hard. It takes a lot of time to fill that out. I'll email that to them several days before my appointment and ask them to please have it filled out before I get there. And it's interesting because if they have it filled out before I get there, I know I've gotten the listing, right? I think that, but then for me, like, I come in and I'll say, can you give me a tour of your home? And I have a sheet that we start, and everything that they're saying, I'm writing down. I'm writing down what they say and then what I see. There's 2 different columns, right? So that I can highlight the things that they think are special, but also the key things that I need to know later. And then I'll say, let's sit at the dining room table, because the dining room table is the table that everybody makes all the decisions at. So then after I tour the home, I make sure we sit, and then we go through like you did. Same thing. That was just one little thing different.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when the one thing that I've gotten, like, you feel the mood change in the room. You're right. Like when you do something that makes the mood change, like everything just kind of, the energy shifts. This is one of the things that I've incorporated into my presentation, and I feel the energy shift every time that I do it. So like from my approach is, and everybody's different, but I come in and most people will say, oh, can I give you a tour of the house? Because that's what most realtors do. I will say, actually, I have some questions prepared for you. Can we please sit down for a few minutes? And then I'd love for you to give me a tour. So that's another little, I just flip that because okay, sure. And then we sit down. The first question that I ask, and I highly recommend that if you don't ask this question first, you at least include it or incorporate it into your questions if you're not already asking it, because it's the first question I ask. And every time I ask it, it makes them think, and I can tell that no other realtor that they've met with, if they have met with anybody else prior to me, hasn't asked it. The question is simple. What qualities are you looking for in a realtor?
See, and I have a whole list of questions. My pre-qualification questions that I ask before I get there. So I've got like 10. That's one of the ones I ask on the phone before I step in there. So then I know who I'm going to work with, you know.
Yeah.
But I think that's really good, David.
I enjoy listening to that, like just the eye contact, seeing, because a lot of times, if you're dealing with a high price point home, they really appreciate that question, just to hear them talk through what is it that they're actually looking for. And then that's obviously, I incorporate that into further conversation as we continue on. So anyway, coming in, whether you sit down and ask them questions, go for a tour. When you come back, I like to go for the tour and then come back and talk about pricing, because I want to see, things that may need to be done, the condition of things. And then when we first sit down at the kitchen table or the dining room table, that's where I'll pull out the manila folder, start to pull out my paperwork, and then I'll acknowledge the moment. And I'll say, hey, I just want to thank you so much for your time today. It really means a lot to me to be here. And I want you to know that I have spent a significant amount of time preparing for this appointment because I'm so appreciative of your time. So lay it down like that when you're going to start to talk about the numbers and the data. I feel the energy shift every time I do that. Okay, so some other, I guess the main highlight, I've shared this story, and by the way, hi to people, Sandy, Mark, Dana,
yes, Ryan,
Maria. Hey everybody.
David and Maria.
Thank you so much for jumping on. So some of you that have known me for a while, I apologize if some of this might be repetitive, but it's a story that resonates with me deeply, and it's had a significant impact on my career. It's the story of the orchid. So this goes back to 2014. I'm actually going to share my screen in a minute to timestamp it, because I'm very visual and I like to show receipts on stuff. So this, I think, when you see the listing with the first original orchid, it will give some depth to the story. So this goes back to when I first got in the business. I think I was in the business for maybe 6 to 9 months, and I was trying to earn this particular listing that was in the same neighborhood that I grew up in. And this was when I, like most realtors, were trained to cold call, right? Door knock, expired. So this was before I adopted the Feeney system, which I did about 2 months after this story that I'm gonna share with you. And I didn't call all the expireds. This is my first year in. I only called some if I knew the neighborhood, or if I recognized the last name. If I felt like I had some type of connection, I would selectively call some expired. So this was an expired listing I called. I saw the house was on the market with another realtor for 90 days. I knew the location. It was a great street in a great neighborhood that I grew up in. And I was just baffled that the house didn't sell. So I called and hey, Mrs. Bloomsack, this is David Ladner. I'm in real estate with Remax, and I see that your house didn't sell. She goes, David, I'm busy cooking dinner. Click. I'm like, oh, I'm so frustrated. So I called the next week at the same time, and she might even be on this. I don't know, Jennifer, can we see everybody that's on?
No, just the people that respond. No, just the people that respond.
So she might even be on this. She might be watching me, Mrs. Bloomsack, if you're on here, hello, because I did share it on my personal Facebook page. Hi. And so if you're here, so grateful for all of your support over the years. But this is a true story. So a week later, I called her again. Hey, Mrs. Bloomsack, it's David Ladner. I used to play baseball with your son, Brian. I'd love to chat for a couple minutes about, your experience with having your house on the market. David, I thought I told you I'm busy cooking dinner. Click. And I'm like, oh, I was so frustrated because I knew I could sell this house for more than what the other realtor couldn't sell it in. And it was on the market for 90 days and they couldn't sell it. So anyway, I hired a coach, which for being newer in the business, most agents don't do that. I went into my office the next morning, and her name was Betsy. I'm like, Betsy, I'm frustrated. And I told her what I just told you. And she goes, David, what are you doing? Show me what's your scripts? What are you doing? So I pulled out the scripts and, oh, here's what I said. And she goes, David, you don't get it. What are you doing differently than what every other realtor is doing? Are you doing anything different? And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, see, she goes, no, you still don't get it. And she asked me the same question. What are you doing differently from what every other realtor is doing? And then the light bulb went off in a major way. I'm like, I get it. And she said to me, I see it. You just got it. So the light bulb went off. I'm just doing what every other realtor is doing, right? Hundreds of realtors are probably calling or expireds trying to get the listing. So then my coach said to me, what are you going to do today to make her treat you differently? You have to do something different first. If you want someone to look at you differently, than whatever, the other realtors that are comparable skill, that have very good presentation, that bring great energy, that care about their clients, all those intangible things. You still have to do something different first to get that type of treatment that you desire in return. So what are you going to do today? So she lit a fire up under me like I can't even begin to explain. I was like, oh my God, I have to do something today. So what did I do? I went into my broker owner's office. I'm talking to all the senior agents in my office at the time. I'm calling my mom, my dad, my brother, my best friends, telling them, what can I do today? I got to do something today. And everybody was very supportive. Everybody was very encouraging, throwing out different ideas, but nothing just like really, really resonated with me. So now I'm driving home and my palms are sweating. I've been obsessing about this all day. What am I going to do? And now I'm like, oh, well, I thought about my wife and I had a newborn son. So I pulled into the grocery store. I go into the florist my intention is to get flowers for my wife. And I walk into the florist and boom, I see I just stopped in my tracks, this big, beautiful display of orchids. And even within the florist, it stood out as being different, completely different. Didn't look like anything else in the florist. I'm like, oh my God, that's different. That's it. And I stood there for 5 minutes and felt like an hour. I got it boxed up, wrapped up in cellophane. I got the flowers for Amy. And now I knew what I had to do, right? I had to go to the house, which was only about a half a mile away from the florist. So I pull up to the house, I ring the doorbell, and I'm holding the box and the cellophane like this. I ring the doorbell, and Cheryl, Mrs. Bloomsack, opens the door, and she opens the door, and she says, oh, isn't this nice? Who's this from?
She thought you were a delivery person.
She thought I was the delivery guy. So I push it to the side. I say, Cheryl, it's David Ladner. She goes, oh, David Ladner, come on in. Now, there's a lot more to the story. I'm not going to share on this call today. I had to earn the trust. But my point is, the orchid got me in the door and they were open to listening to me. I had done a significant amount of homework so that I pretty much understood why the house didn't sell. Now, Jennifer, we can share the screen. I'd love to show the visual, or do I have to do that?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh wait, can we go back? Because if I press it, it looked differently to me.
What do you mean go back? Yeah, I can remove it or I can add it. Well, when I did it earlier, you had the ability to scroll and everything, right?
Yeah, let's see here. I click present. Image file. Oh, nope, not that.
So it's not what I had up there?
Present slide PDF. Let's see. It is what it is, but I can't see it as closely. Image file, video. Go ahead, see what it was like. All right, so that's the outside of the house. Can you scroll down? I want to show the date.
I don't have it's on your computer, so I don't have the ability to scroll.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you so much. I get
have control over it. Hey, and I think if you want it bigger, I might be able to make it bigger. Is that what you want?
No, I'm good now. I was on the wrong filter. Thank you so much. Okay, so I just wanted to show everybody, this is the listing. So you can see the list price was $49. We sold it for $4. And this is back in 2014 now. The other realtor had it on for the same price, $49.9 for 90 days, and it was an expired listing. We listed it at $49.9. We sold it slightly over the asking price immediately right away after the first offer deadline. I want to show you the year just to show back. So I think I gave her this orchid. It was probably mid-July. And let me just say, back in mid-July 2014, orchids were not what they even remotely close what they are today in real estate. Now you see orchids everywhere, and you didn't see them in real estate listings in the greater Boston area. I can't speak to other markets going back that far, but the powerful thing is I got the listing, and then when I showed up for the photo shoot and I walked into the main living area,
right there,
this is where my client set the orchid right in the middle of a picture window, and it just looks so beautiful. So I said, oh, let's take a close-up picture of that. Now, the other thing I want to highlight is I felt the significant difference of how I felt when I gave the orchid, right? Being a giver, giving the orchid, how it was received, and then where she placed it. Now, what I want you to think about is if you give someone an orchid, right? And then now you go home, and then maybe later that evening or the next evening, the homeowners, the decision makers are trying to figure out who they want to work with. They're going to place that orchid in an open concept space, whether it's their kitchen, their dining room. And there's a very good chance they'll be actually sitting in the same space as the orchid or whatever you decide to give. It doesn't necessarily have to be an orchid, although that's what I recommend because they're just different. So subconsciously, the potential client will be thinking about you when they look at the orchid. Now, if you don't come correct, if you're not prepared, if you don't clearly
the orchid's not a miracle maker. It's just a slight little differential.
Right. If you're neck and neck, right, you brought your A game, you feel really good walking out of there, that you gave it all you had, you left it all on the field, right? And so did another realtor. Now this could tip the scale to your direction. So it's not just giving. It's not just giving the orchid. Number one, it shows intention, right? You thought about that client before you came. If you come really prepared with all of your notes and everything, your paperwork, and you come with a gift for the person before you even know if you're going to get the listing or not, it shows that you're a giver. And when they're ready to make their decision,
you're in front of them without being in front of them.
Exactly.
I love it.
And oh, by the way, if you can see my screen, this is the expired listing, like I said, with the previous realtor. 489, like I said, was on the market for 91 days, right? 2 or 3 months before I relisted it, right? And now, beyond that, well, now that family is, and again, if Cheryl is watching or Alan is watching, they've been one of my biggest supporters in my entire career. They've referred me to multiple of their children. Alan is actually an attorney who referred me to a couple really great multifamily homes, which the people that bought them through me, I ended up doing condo conversions and then listing the condo conversions, and it just snowballed. But then because of the impact that I felt when I gave it, and I saw the impact and how much it changed the end result, I made the decision from that moment forward that every single first face-to-face meeting with a potential buyer or seller, I'd bring an orchid. If there was a woman there, I wouldn't give an orchid if it was like a single guy buyer. That'd be kind of awkward. But but I've done that literally like every single first face-to-face appointment with a buyer or a seller, and I can't even tell you. I've lost count at how many times I get that follow-up email or text message from a client that says, it wasn't an easy decision, David, but congratulations, would like to work with you. We've already found a spot in our home for your lovely orchid. I can't even tell you how many times they mention that in the same breath as you're hired, we love the orchid.
Hey, that's funny. See, you told me about the orchid. So now I usually send one after I meet them, and I'll say I future pace a lot, right? So I'll say in my card, this will look so great when I list your home. This will look so great in the photos, which is kind of what Judy was saying. She uses them like, this will look so great in the photos whenever we list your home, whenever I list your home. So then subliminally, whatever that word is going into their brain, like, I'm going to use Jennifer. But I'm not real good about doing it all the time. I don't do it 100% of the time like you do, which is amazing.
It's just because I felt the impact.
Well, it made a huge difference in your life and in their life.
And also in many, many, many other RE/MAX agents' lives, by the way, because I've shared this, by the way. Hi, Rich. Hi, Judy. Hi, Rick. I can't see any. I'm just saying everyone, the names that I can see.
And Renee and Lisa and DJ.
DJ, so I was just about to say, I'm not sure if there's any torchbearers on here, but I was one of the very first. I was selected to be a torchbearer in the very first torchbearer, and I've been a torchbearer multiple years
So
over the years.
torchbearer are the top agents 40 under 40. Is that right? 40 agents under 40? Is that what it is?
It's the top five, I believe, agents under the age of 40 in each state. Now I've graduated. I'm over 40 now, but I was in that group for many years, and I've shared this story at many torchbearer retreats. And let me tell you, there are dozens of Remax agents that not only have implemented this, but have followed up with me after the fact and said, you know what, my clients love the orchid. I'm doing this all the time now. I get text messages from agents where they take a picture of the orchid in their car. Hey, Dave, I'm on the way to listing appointment. Wish me luck. It's really become a pretty powerful thing within the Remax network. The more I share this story, the more and more I have people say, asking me about it and wanting me to share it more, which I'm always happy to do.
Hey, Hillary, have you had your baby? Baby's due soon. I think October. See, Hillary's texting torch beer. She said you're getting auto-corrected to torch beer. It's
Hillary.
Does anybody know? Anybody out there? Does anybody know if Hillary had the baby? Oh, look, Lisa's husband will take care of the orchid.
Hi, Lisa. So, a funny story. Well, fun story.
Taking an orchid from you.
So my all-time, one of my other top clients that has referred me to at least 10 transactions. We go deep with our clients. This is actually the one I took her out on a private yacht. This is that client. She has the longest standing time frame that the orchid I gave her when I helped her buy the house, when she called me back 5 years later,
wow,
to sell that house and buy a new house, she still had that orchid going 5 years later.
Wow. To get them to rebloom is really hard. Actually, I'm getting ready to join the Orchid Society of Wilmington. Did you know that was a thing? I love orchids. Love orchids. My grandmother can make them rebloom. I keep them alive, but I've only had one or two to rebloom. It's rather difficult. But the good thing about an orchid, too, is they do last forever. I mean, that bloom stays on there several months.
Yeah.
Plus, it's different, and it's nice, and it's thoughtful.
So I have some other tips that maybe for the I don't want to go into too much now because I think if people.
Oh, we want a stage 2? We want a second one?
Yes, to be continued.
Love it.
And this one, we're going to talk about content that I share in the listing appointment, especially when I know I'm competing for listing, that are regards to how we vet a pre-approval letter and what that sounds like. So in the listing appointment, I'll vet a pre-approval letter with my potential client. I'll say, listen, I actually want to demonstrate my value. I want to clearly articulate my value to you right now. And this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to make pretend you're the lender that just provided a pre-approval letter for an offer on your home. And I'm going to articulate how majority of full-time agents will vet the pre-approval letter on your home. And then I'm going to show you the additional value that I bring by the additional questions that I ask, and then the information that I generate. And when I present the offer to you, I'm very detail oriented. As you can see, I take notes of all the answers to the additional questions that I ask, because the last thing that you want to do as a homeowner is potentially put your house back on the market when you don't need to, right? And people are like, oh yeah, the antennas go up. And then I'll role play like they're the lender, and I'm showing them what that conversation sounds like behind the scenes, and they love it. So last year, I went out on 38 listing appointments. Now, probably half of them were referrals. So I might have competing for half of them. At this point, I get a lot of strong referrals. So I probably was competing for about 20 of them. I was selected 18 out of 20. Wow. I lost 2 last year.
That's amazing.
So, and I always ask if I lose, I ask, what was the difference?
Yeah.
what can I do to grow? If I win, I ask, what was the determining factor for you? Why did you choose me versus the other people that you interviewed? And I kept hearing the same response. Well, we loved how you vetted that. You role played with us. We loved how you did that, talking about how you vet the pre-approval letter different than how most realtors do. No one else talked about that. We really enjoyed that. The other feedback that I got from dozens of clients recently that chose us when it was close is I also demonstrate my negotiation skills in the listing presentation, and then I directly tie it to the listing paperwork. So how I correlate that and tie that together is also a key thing that consumers have told me. Clients have said, this is why we chose you versus someone else. So I'm happy to share that in a future.
So, David, do you already have a date? Do you want to get back on my calendar? Let's get you scheduled back in, please.
Happy to.
You
Absolutely.
want to do it so we can tell everybody right now what date that's going to be?
Sure.
I don't know what dates I have available. Let me see. Well, we don't have to do it right now, actually.
Yeah. So October is a big month for myself and my team. I think we have about 16 transactions pending right now.
That's good.
We have a small team. It's going to be a very big month for us in October.
Yeah, I'm having the best year of my career. Actually, I'm doubling my production of any other year I've done in 18 years.
Woo!
Me personally, I'm not, and the team's doing excellent too. We're up considerable from last year, but me personally, just my personal stuff, not the team. So yeah, it's pretty good.
And what do you think is
Contributing factor?
Yeah.
Here's the funny thing. Grayson, my youngest daughter, just got licensed. She got licensed at the end of February, and I was like, I'm going to make sure she is not like these 6,000 agents in my area that are all brand new and don't know what they're doing. I'm going to make her do it from the ground up. And when I did it with her from the ground up, and I was door knocking with her, doing open houses with her, scripting with her, playing with her, doing videos with her, all of the things that I should have been doing for 18 years and I knew to do, but I've just gotten too busy, was very impactful. So going back to basics, honestly.
I love it.
Teaching her and letting her shadow me and trying to, yeah.
That must feel so incredibly inspiring too, to teach your daughter from the ground up like that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Wow, congratulations on
well, thank you.
Such a successful year. I'm not surprised. I mean, your work ethic is incredible.
Wow, I appreciate
Kudos to you for keeping this opportunity going, the show that you have. And a lot of times people start things like this and then stop, right? But you've been doing it now for how long?
3 years. And I will tell you, about a month ago, I was tired. Everybody out there probably noticed there was about a month that it wasn't very consistent, because it gets hard. I mean, quite legitimately, between Grayson and I, we probably spend 20 to 30 hours a week preparing for this. And so it's, and it's always like trying to come up with new people to be on it and new topics and new points of interest. But I love it. And so I'm here in the middle of a storm. I'm also sick, was throwing up last week. This week, I just have this head stuff going on, but I'm here because David Ladner was going to be here and he will share his orchid story.
Hi, Joseph. Hi, Lori. So I hope everybody that's on here today is hearing what Jennifer's saying. I mean, I think this is a fantastic opportunity for you to be able to reach out to Jennifer after the call and to share. And you can post. She puts together a nice little template. You can share it on your social media. Invite people within your network to come and listen. And
it's easy, right, David?
What's that?
It's easy.
It's easy. And after you do it once, like the first time I did it with Jennifer, I was a little bit more nervous, but we've done it 2 or 3 times now, and I feel way more comfortable the more you do anything, right? So, and we all have a very powerful story to share. Anybody that's made it in real estate, doesn't matter if you're 100% club, it doesn't matter if you're platinum, it doesn't matter what level you're at, it really doesn't. If you're doing it full time and you've committed to being a full-time, long-term realtor, we all have a story that's powerful to share. So,
that's right.
And if you wanted to brainstorm with Jennifer or even myself, like, hey, I'm interested in doing that. I heard you say, and you just want to brainstorm, like, what content people would like for you to share, we're all ears. We're here as a resource to help with that.
I would love it. Thank you. Thank you for the little plug, David.
Absolutely. I appreciate this. It feels good. Any opportunity, the Remax Network, I think everybody's name that I've seen as a guest is a Remax agent. And I'm extremely grateful to the brands, to the power of the network. Remax definitely changed my life in a significantly positive way. And any opportunity that we have to pass on some expertise, some knowledge that can help another Remax agent implement into their business, I will take that opportunity every time it's presented to us.
I 100% agree. And David, are you going to be at Elite and Luxury in a couple of weeks?
I am, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say anything yet, but I was asked to speak at Luxury, which is a high honor. And I've actually never been to Luxury, so the fact that they saw Remax leadership saw that I had registered, and it was because they piggybacked Luxury to Elite is the reason why I decided to go. The fact that they reached out and asked me to share on a panel with some, serious players, it's extremely humbling, and I'm really looking forward to it.
You are going to do very well.
Thank you, Jennifer.
I can't wait to watch you. I'll video you.
So you'll be there? Oh, will you?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yes, I'll be there. And yes, I'll video. Of course I will. I would love to. Be honored.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yes. And I really do want you to go ahead and schedule. You don't have to do it right this second, but schedule part 2 because this was really good. And I appreciate you, David.
Awesome, Jennifer. I appreciate you too. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yes. And I would love to hear other people. If there's anything that you do kind of unique or special at a listing appointment, put it in the comments, share, teach us. That's how we grow. That's how we get better. And we're all in different markets. And even if we were in the same market, nobody does it exactly the same. So I would love to hear what you guys do. Thank you, David. And I am going to go because I need to blow my nose really badly. So sorry. I've been holding off, but trying not to sneeze and everything else. But yeah, I'll see everybody else next week. And David, I will see you in person in 3 weeks?
Awesome. Can't wait.
I look forward to it. Bye, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank you.